Jackie is a biographical drama that tells the story of Jackie Kennedy, who in the aftermath of the assassination of her husband, President John F. Kennedy, struggles to cope with his loss. And the story basically follows her as she struggles to come to terms with his loss and just dealing with the aftermath of that horrific, tragic event. Now, going to this film, I've got to be honest with you, I just thought it was going to be like an average, mediocre film with just an amazing central performance. But not only was Natalie Portman absolutely spectacular, for me, the film surrounding her was just as good. I was worried it was going to be a bit of a long, slow, dull, boring film, but it wasn't. I couldn't have been more wrong. This film was anything but boring. I found it to be surprisingly riveting and engaging, and I was shocked at how much I was immersed into the world of the film and just locked into it for the entire running time. I really wasn't expecting that. As I said, I thought this was going to be a bit of a slow, dull, boring film, but it was actually very riveting, very engaging, and I was immersed and engaged for the entirety of the film. By far the biggest positive I can give this film is, of course, Natalie Portman as Jackie. She really blew me away in this film. I'll be shocked if she doesn't at least get nominated for an Oscar for her performance here, because she truly was remarkable. She really became that character to the point where you no longer saw Natalie Portman on the screen, you just saw the person she was portraying, and that's just a sign of a great actor. And when someone's worthy of an Academy Award, at least a nomination anyway, because I think she was truly spectacular. She really sank into that role to the point where she really became Jackie Kennedy. As I said, I didn't see Natalie Portman on the screen. It was like I was watching Jackie Kennedy. She really became that person, and it was crucial that she was good as well, because this film really is all about her. It all revolves around her. It all revolves around her performance as Jackie Kennedy. It really is a portrait of Jackie, and Natalie Portman is at the heart of that. It's really all about her and her performance, and she really knocked out of the park in her performance, as I said, and she just really drew me in as well. She really captivated me and held my attention and really helped to draw me into the film, and I was always interested and engaged because of how kind of mesmerising her performance was, and it really was a powerhouse performance on her part. I really hope she gets the recognition she deserves, because for me she was absolutely amazing. Also, I have to give props to the cinematography of the film, the whole look of the film. I really like the look of this film. It was shot on the film, it was like a 16:9 aspect ratio, and it looked like it was made in the 60s. It was great because it was, you could see the grain of the film there. It wasn't digital, it wasn't all glossy and just manufactured. It really felt like this was like a film that came out in the 60s or something. It really felt like they went back in time and filmed the real people in the 60s. That's how authentic this film was from a visual standpoint. It really looked like the real deal. For me, the performances were so convincing and it looked so realistic. It was almost as if, as I said, they went back in time and filmed the real people. It was that good. It didn't feel like a Hollywoodized, dramatic recreation of past events. It really felt documentarian in a way, and I really liked how realistic and believable and convincing it was because of how much it looked like the real events. It was almost like watching archive footage. I'm not sure if they did actually implement kind of little snippets of archive footage here and there, but if not, this film was really extraordinarily well done, because there's even some cutaways that I was convinced is archive footage, and maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but there's certain cutaways here and there where it almost looks like that was actually archive footage used. It was really cleverly cut together in a way, if it was archive footage, from where we went with close-ups with the actors to then kind of long shots where it almost looked like it was archive footage of the real events, and then we went back and forth between that, cut away from the actual film of the actors, shot on film, and then the cutaways almost to archive footage, it looked like, and it was really well done in that respect. It really helped immerse you into the film, and it really held your attention in that respect, because it almost felt like you were watching a documentary. It almost felt like you were watching real events, and I thought that was really well done. Also, I really liked the structure in this film. It wasn't just a long, boring, chronological narrative that I thought it might have been. It was non-linear in a respect. There was a portion of the film with Natalie Portman as Jackie kind of years later talking to a reporter, and then it would often cut back to just after the assassination and the events just after that, and then there was also bits set before the assassination as well, and I liked how it cut back and forth between those three different time periods and settings. It was done in a way that it kept your interest and kept you engaged, because it never stayed in one place for too long. It flowed really nicely, and it was cut together in a very effective way. I thought how it cut back and forth between these three different settings and time periods, and I think it was really well done. The story as well was like a haunting yet captivating portrayal of these tragic events that really put you in the place of Jackie Kennedy and really made you feel like how awful and horrific it must have been for her, and I really like that because I got a vibe from that from the trailer, but I wasn't sure whether they were going to be able to translate that to film very effectively, but they did. It really felt almost horrific in parts, like you really put in her place and you could really feel how kind of horrific and awful it must have been for her to go through these such tragic, awful events, and I think they captured that really well. There was also an uneasy tension that was maintained throughout the whole film where it almost felt like, you know, something else bad was going to happen, even though you know nothing else happens in the aftermath of the assassination. It almost felt like something else was going to happen because it had that uneasy tension. It really put you in Jackie's shoes and really put you in that environment. Like, you really felt like scared for her, and you really felt like you didn't know what the hell was going to happen, even though we know the history, we know that nothing else happened after that. Because of that uneasy tension, it really kept you on the edge of your seat, like you really didn't know what was going to happen or if something else bad was going to happen. And I think that was really effectively done because, of course, we know history, we know that nothing else happened straight after that in the aftermath of the assassination, but it was done in a way that made it riveting to watch. Like, we almost didn't know what was going to happen, even though we're fully aware and know what happens. It was filmed in a way that really made us feel like we didn't know what the hell was going to happen next. The music as well really added to this. I mean, the score was extraordinary in this film. I didn't think the music was going to play as big a part as it did. I thought the music would have just been really kind of quiet, understated, really barely noticeable, but it was a really kind of powerful and effective score that was very atmospheric, and it really added to the intensity, to the drama. And the music, I think, was just really great, and I really wasn't expecting a score like that, but I'm really glad they went with something like that because, as I said, it really added to the intensity and the drama of the situation. It really gave it this kind of feeling of kind of this haunting, captivating kind of, we didn't know what was going to happen, we were locked in, we were engaged, but at the same time you felt scared, you didn't know what was going to happen, and the music really kind of put that across really effectively. And also I was surprised at how kind of deep, profound and meaningful this film got towards the very end anyway. It really surprised me in that respect, and I also thought it was very timely considering what's going on in the world today and the state of the world as of today and what's going on in politics and all that. And you know, I don't usually like talking about anything like that, but I think this film was a very important film, and I think it's a film that should be seen, and I think it told the story in a very respectful but also very powerful and effective way. Like, it was a very kind of fitting kind of depiction of true events, but it was also a very powerful, effective and engaging watch as well. Like, it wasn't just a boring, generic, basic by numbers film. It was quite unconventional in a way as far as biopics go, in terms of like the structure of the film, in terms of how it put it across in a very kind of almost horrific way, where we were really put in the place of Jackie Kennedy, and we really got to feel how awful and horrific it must have been for her. As well as being a great kind of portrait of the character of Jackie Kennedy, it was also a very fitting tribute to JFK as well, even though he's barely in the film. But as the film wrapped up, it was a very fitting tribute to JFK, I thought, as well as a very accurate depiction of the events from Jackie Kennedy's perspective. I thought it was really great. As far as negatives go, I have a couple just little nitpicks really. For the most part, it kind of felt like this could have been like just an hour-long one-off TV drama, kind of a TV movie, or just a straight to video kind of maybe on Netflix or something. But then as the film came to an end and it wrapped up, it kind of won me over, and I thought, you know what, I think this was the right decision. I think it was right to tell the story in this way, and I think it made much more of an effective film than I thought it was going to. So, you know, I think it could have been just like a one-off 1 hour TV special or something like that. I really liked what they did with this film, and I think it was the right decision to make the film in this way, so I was won over by the end. And also another little gripe I have, it's not a major thing really, but Peter Sarsgaard as the brother of JFK, Bobby Kennedy, he wasn't bad in this film. I think he's a great actor, he was really good, but he might have been a little miscast. He did feel a little out of place. I think he was good in the role, and he did win me over by the end, but it's difficult for me with Peter Sarsgaard. He's played so many kind of iconic characters, and he's also well known for playing villains. He was the villain in Magnificent Seven. It's hard for me not to see Peter Sarsgaard when I see him up there on the screen. So he did win me over by the end, and I do think he did a good job, but again, it was just a little hard for me with him in that role, for me not to see Peter Sarsgaard when he was up there on the screen. But Again, not a major issue really, and he did win me over by the end. Overall, Jackie is a captivating, profound drama and extremely realistic portrait of the woman who lost her husband in the most horrific of circumstances. Headlined by an extraordinary Oscar-worthy performance from Natalie Portman, Jackie was by no means some kind of groundbreaking cinematic masterpiece, but what it does is paint an honest and sometimes brutal portrayal of the horrific ordeal Jackie went through in a haunting and captivating way. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Jackie a very low but very well deserved 5 stars. And there we have it, that wraps up my review of Jackie. Have you seen the film yet? And if so, what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this and you haven't already, be sure to click subscribe to see more. But for now, I've been David O'Sullivan. I'll see you next time.